Welcome to the OBR streaming network. We are live. This is All Eyes on Cleveland. Yes, 7 p.m. on a Thursday night in late June. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk all things Cleveland Browns here tonight, as we see some of you coming on into the Bearded Browns podcast. Welcome to the show. I've never seen you in the chat before, but good to see you there. On the Chubb video, info on the Chubb video. Okay, yeah, we're going to show the Chubb. Yeah, I got it. We're going to show it. Casey was on top of it. Send it to me. I don't know what info there is, but we're going to watch it, right? We'll figure it out. I mean, he's working out with Aiden Robbins, right?
Yep.
Anybody else of consequence there?
Well, that guy, he works out a ton of running backs. He considers himself the best offseason running back coach. So there's guys cycling in and out of there through the offseason, but I only seen him and Robbins in the videos today.
Yep. So, yeah, my name's Brad Ward. I'm the host of All Eyes on Cleveland. Carolina Case. What?
That's where I live, baby.
Oh. Okay.
I live in South Carolina.
We're just throwing some love for the hometown.
It was going to be longer. It was going to be 0 Dark 30 Case, but it's too long of a title.
Yeah. 0. Well, yeah. I mean, usually it's something Browns related, so.
Yeah, dude, it's we're in the dark ages right now.
Yeah. It's the dark period. But it's not that dark because there's a light up there shining.
Less than 1 month, man. This 27th now. On the 25th, they report to the Greenbrier. So,
and his name is Brandon Aiyuk.
Let's get into it.
All right. Big Casey Kinnamon. Follow him on X at Casey_Kinnamon. What's going on, Case Dog? What else is going on in your life?
Weird day, man. Thursdays are my day off, but my daughter had a surgery scheduled for her wisdom teeth removal. And anybody who's went through that, I just think it's funny because she's worried about it, but then it's not a big deal. I've had it done. Most people have had it done. It's funny to see your kid all looped up, though. I think it was funny for me.
It's an experience.
It is quite the ride.
Quite the ride. So true. All right, so topics of discussion tonight. The Chubb videos. Mm-hmm. Thank you, the Bearded Browns podcast, for hopping in and talking about. We're going to watch the Chubb videos, okay, and evaluate. I don't know what there is to, make of it.
Just feel good. That's just a feel-good thing.
It's a feel-good thing, yeah. We're going to talk about, of course, Cooper, Aiyuk. I have a couple more specific questions that I want to ask, kind of about the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's the tipping point, if you know what I mean?
It exists.
It does exist. 6 training camp days came out. 6 went from 8. The number is getting smaller.
Yeah, it is.
And then along with that, how much value do you put in the Greenbrier?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that. Is it do you think it had a lot to do with it last year? Or I heard Ken this morning saying, who cares? I don't think it had anything to do with that. It has to do with the people in the locker room. So maybe somewhere in between, but we'll talk about it. Corner depth. I want to talk about this quarterback room. I think it's the best corner room in football.
Yeah.
You think I'm going out on a limb to say that?
No. Last we actually reviewed that position last time, the Barking Browns, and I can't. MC asked that question, that very same question. I can't think of another team that has 3 quality corners the way the Browns do. I just can't think of one. You can think of duos that you could compare, but 3, you ain't got it.
The Jets, Cowboys, Deron Bland, and what's his name? After Bland's season last year, right?
Diggs and Bland.
Diggs. They were 1 in the best. Browns were 2. Somebody did Touchdown Wire did top duos.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 was Cowboys. Browns were 2.
Well, Diggs got hurt last year, and Bland. Yeah. It was Bland and Gilmore, really.
Right. So it's
Gilmore's gone.
Be Bland and Diggs, which is interesting. But when you bring in Newsome into the equation, and read my article on this very topic tomorrow, okay?
Well,
and And everybody in the chat as well, and all you viewers out there, 261 of you. If you're watching on X, by the way, do us a huge favor. Hop on over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/Orange and Brown Report. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Tell a friend.
Do all the things. Do all
the things. Do it right. Do it. Do it. All right.
You heard it.
Yeah. On your way in, on your way out, hit the like button, subscribe. It takes just a second, helps us out a ton, and we appreciate it, So thank you in advance. What was I saying?
Cornerback room.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh,
read your article.
Newsome.
Read your article.
Read my article. But Newsome,
he tips about the scale a little bit.
Who has a 3 starting caliber corners like that?
Well, it's the other thing too is we're so close to it that we recognize that Newsome's a good corner, but he's corner 3. But like if nationally there was a redraft, and they still had him going in the first round of that draft, he's still viewed as that kind of talent. You know what I mean? And you couldn't say that any other team has 3 corners worthy of first round grades at this point.
PFF had. We might as well hit this topic now. We're already talking.
Let's go.
PFF had top 32 corners going into 2024. For whatever reason, PFF is very unkind to Martin Emerson. I wrote about this in Things I Think I Know. I think he's getting snubbed by some of the national media, not regarded as highly as he should be. Dude, he's an elite corner. Like, he's a Pro Bowl level corner, in my opinion. And he's not getting recognized like that. Yeah. So Denzel was 17 on PFF's list, and Newsome was 24 with no sight of Emerson on the list. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Emerson just gets docked for the penalties because he is a little handsy, but that's his style of play. You live with that because of the physicality that he brings, but he does get called for – he gets docked for that in their grading system. But, like, bottom line, Cat doesn't give up touchdowns ever.
No.
Quarterback rating when targeted, top 3 in the league. Completion percentage when targeted, top 2 in the league.
Yeah.
Like, those are bottom line things for me, man. Like, I don't know.
4 players in the NFL held the opponent or however it is, their completion percentage under 50%. 1 was Emerson, 4 was Ward.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, and it look, man, put yourself in the mindset of what if Emerson was a first round pick? It would be viewed in a different light. He would have gotten a nod to a Pro Bowl. It's the name thing, and he's viewed as second fiddle. In my reality, I think he's cornerback 1, and that's not a slight to Ward. It's just I think Emerson's a difference maker on this defense. He's changed the way you can play on the back end because of his ability to play man, and it's a different variation than what Ward does. Ward tries to mirror you. Straight up, Emerson will mug you. He's a tough day out, man. No one looks forward to playing that dude. No. He's super physical, and when they drafted him, because he was not on my radar, it was a complete surprise to me. So immediately I had the task of doing pro comps for each of the draft picks. So I dive right into his film, and I'm looking at like a stronger version of like Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
He just the length, the way he will mug you. And everybody's like, oh, he had no interceptions in college. It's because he was the least targeted cornerback in the SEC.
Nobody threw his way.
Because there's no free meals out there. Like, he doesn't get thrown at, so it's.
I got to be honest. I'll be honest with you. He's my favorite Cleveland Brown right now. He's my
Nick Chubb didn't exist, you might have me.
Yeah, he's my favorite on the team because, like, when he came to the defense when the year that he came in, like, he represented everything that we wanted that defense to be. He's in your face. He's talking shit. He never lets up. He is relentless. He plays with an edge. He played like everything you want your defense to play with, that moxie, swagger, edge, in your face, like gonna tell you about it and then beat you again. And if he loses, he's still talking, right? Like he just that's the kind of the mentality you have to play cornerback at that level. He is a dog, Larry. He is he plays like a dog. And he will take your best wide receiver, like you said, and torment them
Yeah.
all afternoon. No matter,
Yep.
you might get something here, something there, but like you're not going to have that day on him.
Yeah, they might pull a
Um,
catch out their ass. Everybody remembers the Pickens catch. I've seen DeAndre Hopkins do get a couple snags last year, but like there's no margin for error with Martin Emerson. I just remember his first game out against the Panthers. He gets called on a roughing. He gets called on a roughing penalty, but it was I live with those kind of penalties because it set a tone. It was just that level of physicality exists now in the cornerback room because of MJ Emerson.
Yeah, so then you had that, and then you had Schwartz come in, who was like, that's Schwartz's
Wet dream.
Yeah. So, and then all of a sudden, the entire defense is playing that way last year, right? The entire defense is talking and not celebrating a good play is a slouch or is a what did he say? It's being lazy or whatever.
Yeah, you get downgraded. You get downgraded for not
Yeah.
celebrating.
Yeah. So that's so funny. But a loaf, thank you, Serge. Not celebrating is a loaf in Schwartz's mind, which is hilarious. But dude, like Emerson, they're a total difference maker. And you know, Pete said this last night. Like, I think Harden is the same way. Miles Harden, the guy they draft, like, hard not to like these physical corners that are mouthy, right? Like, it's hard not to like these guys. I like him already just from watching his film. Because he's mouthy, he's in your face, he's the same style kind of cornerback, although he projects more towards a nickel, I think, at the NFL level. But, I mean, if Cam Mitchell, though, I mean, like, if we had to get rid of Newsome today, like, I think Cam Mitchell would do a fine job on the interior.
Yeah, between Mitchell and Harden, you think you could piece that together pretty easily. And I think Harden's a little more versatile. I think he can give you some other things.
And
We'll see how it plays out.
And Halasi. So
yeah, Halasi's more of the outside guy.
He's the outside guy, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. He was talking about this on Tuesday too. They I didn't realize, but like if you look at the waiver dates and stuff, so what they played him in the preseason, right, last year?
Yeah, we played them the last game of the preseason,
and so they waived him, and the Browns were like, whoop, picked him right up. So they saw the length, they saw the speed. And they were like, this is the kind of corner that fits our outside model. And they grabbed him right up, right? And I think he was on the roster most of the year. So with that room there, and then you have, Justin Hardy, who's going to be your special teams ace.
No one talks about that. Like when I look at this cornerback room, I think there's 5 locks. Obviously, the top 3, Hardy and Mitchell. Those are locks.
Here's the thing. The question, though, is it Halasi or Hardy? I think that's what I was kind of writing about at the end of my article.
Or Harden?
Hardy.
Yeah.
Hardy is
I think Hardy's a lock just because you basically upgraded Mike Ford. But to the same degree, you don't want him in coverage either. You want him just special teams only, concentrate on that. You just be an ace on special teams.
But who's
but
5,
he would come to
though?
the corner on the roster.
Who's 5, though? If I think I agree, Hardy is spectacular special teams. Who's 5? Is it Halasi or Harden?
Well, that's hard to say, man. We're not even into it yet to see, but
it'll be
there's draft equity spent in Harden. Now it's the 7th. But in my mind, because when they selected Harden, in my mind, he was already gone off the board. I thought he was going to go in the 5th or early 6th, just based on I didn't do any work on him, just based on what I heard people like Trevor Sikkema and Connor Rogers talk about him. I was like, he was like their dark horse for a day 3 guy.
Thought he was going to go earlier, even. Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured that when he was in the 7th, I was kind of confused. Like, oh man, you got a steal there. So it's hard to imagine them moving off him, just based on what the projections were for him to be a starting caliber nickel eventually. And it just depends on what their future plans are too. Because Halasi projects the outside, Harden's more the inside. I think Harden could even moonlight as a safety. Yeah. The way he tackles and run support, dude, it's like you said, fans are going to love him pretty quickly.
Yeah. Foot in the ground and go. Like he gets upfield quickly. Yeah.
He plays nasty. He plays with a nasty temperament, which I always gravitate towards in my defensive players. But it more depends on what their future plans are for how they see this. Because just look, who do they think they can sneak on the practice squad? That's the question.
That's what I was just going to say next. You read my mind. Like, I think you probably have a better chance of getting Halasi to the practice squad than you do Harden. Just
Kansas City thought the same thing.
They did, right? But he's more fresh in people's mind, and he was drafted. So I don't know. I mean, it's beauty in the eye of the beholder a little bit there. But
yeah, you always value your own people more.
Who can you sneak by?
Yeah.
Don't want to see either of them leave, really.
Yeah, and it's also almost a thing like you almost don't want to see them ball out in the preseason because you have to sneak one of them away. But you want to see what you have. It's a double-edged sword, man. These are awesome problems to have, Brad.
Yeah,
these are amazing problems that we have right now. We should be happy because we've actually had real problems. These are first world problems.
Basically, the point of the article is that's going to be a fun competition to watch. This room is stellar to a point of almost luxury with Newsome this year. It was enjoyed like that. It's just a special room. So
and when you combine it with what they have as in the pass rush game, dude, it's just a perfect concoction.
It's gonna be fun.
It's Schwartz. It's something that I thought about last year, and it's Jim Schwartz has been coaching for a long time. I think this will be his 21st season coaching a defense in one fashion or another. Probably the most talent he's ever had at his disposal. That's insane to think about.
Gotta be. Returning every starter and beyond that, returning all 4 safeties, right? 5 safeties. I mean, you can make a case for 5 safeties on this roster.
Yeah.
To make
which is so crazy because last year going into it, we were like 3.
Right.
You didn't know what you had beyond 3.
Delpit, Thornhill,
McLeod's
final year.
Yeah.
And then you've got your 2 UDFAs.
Yep. Hickman and Bell. Yeah.
Who both played significant snaps last year and played well.
Yeah. When called upon, and we didn't know what we had in them, to be honest with you. There were lottery tickets and they hit though, and because we'd already been through this before with Barry, and all of his draft picks make it, no UDFAs, and then Bell makes it 2 years ago as UDFA. And then the following year, another UDFA makes it at safety. It seems to be where they're hitting at right now.
Drew, you read my mind. We will be previewing every team in the AFC North before camp starts. That is my promise to you. We'll have a guest from each team on. Me and Casey will beat them up a little bit, ask them some questions.
Interrogations.
Yes, I promise, Drew. That's you're a smart man, and we will preview every team in the AFC North before the Greenbrier. All right, you're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. That's Casey Kinnamon. I'm Brad Ward. This is an OBR streaming production, network production. Hit like, hit subscribe. I want to show. Let's take a look at these, huh? Let's take a look at Nicholas, Jamal, Chubb. These emerged today. So him working out with. Wonder how him and Robbins got hooked up. Same guy?
That's my guess. Like I said, there are a ton of running backs are working with this guy in the off seasons. I was looking at Brad Lester. I was looking at some more posts below to see like how, and it seems like he's a pretty busy guy.
These are going to be vertical videos, so I'm going to do this differently, which I just realized. Hang on. Whoop. All right, let's do it this way.
Move. Hold contact.
Good. Is that Robbins without the shirt on?
Move.
No.
Hold contact.
Oh, you're the guy who comes in and slaps the ball.
Yeah, that's him right there.
That giant human right there. Looks like an edge rusher. Yeah.
He is freaking huge.
He's massive, dude. He's massive. He's going to be so fun this preseason.
So, which leg did he hurt?
Left.
He's
Same
on his
leg
left.
that he's injured twice before.
He's on his left right now.
Yep.
Move.
Yep. And you should look at the stability in the knee.
Contact.
It's good to see. It makes me smile.
It does, dude. It does.
One more time.
See, like we make a lot of the
Move.
Just think about 2 weeks ago when Watson makes that 50-yard throw, and why it doesn't mean anything. It shows that he has confidence in his injury from recovering. It's going to be the same thing with Nick. The first time we see Nick make a hard lateral cut, You know what I mean? That's going to be it for us. Like, because that's a hard thing to do, is to trust that. Coming back from a major injury like that, he's going to have to trust that. So him putting this kind of work in builds that in his mind, that he's able to do Nick Chubb-esque things.
It's got to be like,
such a mental hurdle.
It's got to be the most difficult mental hurdle that like pro athletes go through, is to hurt like an Achilles or a knee and then go to do what you used to be able to do without thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got to be instinctual. Nick's whole game, dude, is seeing it, split second it's there, and he has to react. You know, it's Nick's is a little different this time around. The first time, obviously, non-contact injuries are the scariest to return from, because you don't know what you did wrong to cause the injury in the fucking first place.
Yeah,
it's all of a sudden you're just dealing with that. You know, that was a forcible blow that happened to him. Like you could just visually see what happened and why it happened. You know, but yeah, the confidence to return from that and really give yourself 100%.
Yeah. So that one's cool. Here we go. We got a second one here.
Left, right, left.
Does he look quick, Brad?
He does. That's Robbins across from him.
There's Robbins across from him.
Man.
The other videos I watched of other players, they're all outside.
Right, left. Good.
I mean, I'm not. Listen. He looks pretty good.
Well, that's the other thing too, is, you know, the same thing with the throw from Watson. It's like, does it mean anything? No, but like we're seeing Nick Chubb do football activities.
Yes.
These are football activities that we didn't get to see him do because he's been walking, and, you know, we've seen him run straight line a few times in some other videos where he's working out, but this is actual like applicable football activities that he's going to have to do on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean what percentage he's going to come back. It doesn't mean when he's going to come back, but it just means that he's doing things like that we haven't seen him do yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a step in the right direction. So,
and at the night of the injury, you might doubt that he ever does it again.
Yeah.
Left.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
So to see him do this, it's like, my guy.
Good.
Like that's, I mean, just to be able to see him do that just makes me kind of happy, right?
Right.
And just watch his shoulders. His level never changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all the explosivity of your lower body.
Left. Right.
Being sound in your movements.
Left. Good.
I mean, he's moving pretty good on that thing, right?
Yep. Right, man. Yeah, we have another 4 weeks before they report to camp, and I don't expect him to do jack at camp for a while, you know?
No. Question from...
This is easy.
How do you think I should... I mean, you're always in here, and I appreciate you so much, but I never know how to say this name.
This is just a guess, and he can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think his last name is probably Gillen. So
Gillen?
Gillen.
Gillen?
That'd be my guess. I could be completely wrong.
So, breaking news. I wear glasses, or I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I don't wear them. So I'm like blind a lot of the time. Yeah, you're right. Look at you. You're a genius. Gillen.
Easy now.
What's your first name, brother, so I can call you? I mean, you're such a... we appreciate you. You're always contributing to the show.
I'm going to guess Eric.
Great questions. Eric?
While I'm at it, I might as well just take stabs.
Red Leader said, we can tell. You can tell that I'm blind? Thanks, brother. Ed.
Ed's a strong name. You should be proud of that.
That is a strong name. Thank you, Ed. Good question. Let's answer it. What position groups or areas are you worried about for this year? Offensive tackle, run defense, running backs, tackling on D. None of the above for me.
It's every tight end not named David Njoku.
Yeah, tight end.
Get out of me.
And linebacker depth would be my second choice.
Nose tackle, one tech.
Yep.
If they're really planning to rotate, I don't see where it comes from. You know, and one exercise that I've been doing in preparation for writing is I've been looking at like cut candidates from other teams. So where you can pick up people off the scrap pile. Pickings are slim, man.
There.
Pickings are slim at one tech and tight end. I don't know unless teams are just like over the barrel from the cap perspective and are forced to unload people. I don't know where it comes from, where I feel solid about it.
So Pete said, "Don't worry." This we said on Tuesday about tight end. Did you watch Show Tuesday at all?
Yeah,
You were mad.
I was
in the
making
chat.
noise in the comment room. What are you talking
you were.
about?
You were causing a ruckus. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and look, I agree to it. There's a degree I agree with Pete that you can minimize certain things with the tight end position, but here's the issue.
He said you can throw receiver at it if you want to. You can throw alignment at it if you want to. My concern is if like Njoku were to get hurt.
That's my thing. Your plan is for David Njoku to not get injured, and I can't act like he hasn't had injuries in the past. Last year, he got through all the games except for the final game, which he would have dressed if it was necessary. But that, to me, that sounds risky, man, because you can't even run 11 personnel. And
I think, yeah, I agree. Oh, I agree. Right. You're right.
Unless ZMP, and he's right about certain things, you're going to be able to you're not going to have someone on the active roster week in, week out who's going to fulfill that. But if certain weeks you could elevate ZMP for a week or two to fill a void. But if it's a high ankle sprain from Njoku, I just don't. That's a huge part of your offense is being an 11 personnel is the way we're looking at this. 12 personnel is out the window. Even at this point, I don't know how it works, man.
It depends on what you're doing with the personnel, really.
What you're requiring of the second tight end. If it's a move to Trayton Welch could do a lot to alleviate my concerns.
He could be like a call up from the practice squad in that kind of situation if you really needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Akins, I know he can't block worth a lick, but you can at least put him out there.
He doesn't have to be in 11, but if he can be the move guy in 12.
Situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Casey is a troublemaker. You're right, MC.
I come from a family of outlaws, man.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that here. Okay. So Larry asked, who else do we have last year for a one tech? Elliott was a three tech. He was also a one tech.
They used him as the nose when they shaded that way. They just didn't do it that often.
Yeah.
It wasn't a permanent. The way they're talking, they wanted to make it more of their base of their defense.
I think
because teams were attacking him inside, running the ball, so they're just looking to give him different alignments.
Yeah, so they want to go more, shade, nose, and three this year. Yeah, where it was three.
I don't know where it comes from.
Last year, so to start with, it comes from Tomlinson.
Yeah, he's the one guy with the girth that can handle that. Shelby could do it on a limited basis, but that's not his game. That's not his bag.
Very limited. After that, the two guys that you're looking at are on the roster bubble.
Well, Siak, I just have no faith in. I don't. Because if you think when he was drafted, and I didn't want to draft him to begin with, but when I found out that it was Schwartz banging the table, I felt a little better about it. But then when you hear him talk to him, he was wanting him to be just a one gapper. You know what I mean? He was like, forget being a dump truck, be a Ferrari, all those things we heard. Well, we need the dump truck. We need the dump truck. That's what we need. I don't know, man. And Jawan Briggs, that's not his game, dude. He's not that big. He's powerful. He's short burst, quick, and powerful. And in college, he got caught in trouble with trying to play a big man game. I don't think he can play that big man game at the next level. I don't see it.
Yeah. Larry is calling us liars.
Okay.
So I want to go look and see.
Where are we getting called on?
He says that Elliott played just as much shade nose as sorry, I'm losing my mind. Elliott played just as much as Shelby. Shelby played just as much as Elliott, is what he's saying. I'm looking.
Okay. Well, here's my counter to that is teams ran inside on us at will. So what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? That's they're looking to change that. So how do you change that without the personnel?
Yep. So we're gonna look at first. We'll look at here. I probably can throw this up so everybody could see, huh? It'd be nice of me to do. Excuse me.
I know Elliott was listed as the starter, but as the season wore on, it definitely felt like Shelby was getting more run than Elliott.
Oh, he was definitely getting more run.
Let's see the numbers.
He was starter in name only, right? Like that's how I looked at that.
Well, because he was your best run defensive tackle, not named Dalvin. He was the other guy who could do something against the run. That's when you sign Quentin Jefferson and you let Elliott walk, you got an upgrade in pass rush. I think Elliott was slightly better than Jefferson against the run, but not good enough to hang his hat on being a run stuffer.
He had a hell of a year, man. All right, we gotta go here first. Whoa, that's small, isn't it? All right. Snap counts. Whoop. Alignment. Defensive alignment snaps. 14 in the A gap.
I'm not seeing that on the screen.
You don't?
No.
What the? Oh. You know why?
But you'll show me.
I will show you. Hang on there, ladies and gentlemen. It opened a new... That's the
Another
tricky
set of
part.
windows. And
Yep. All right, so you see what you with me here? Can you see? No,
no,
you
I
can't.
didn't see me and you.
No, I
There
lied.
we go. There we go. We're back.
All right, 2023 played 14 snaps in the A gap, Larry.
Yeah, that's
It's not very many.
like I said, he can do it, but that's not his bag. And I don't think it stops what you're trying to stop.
He did when he was younger,
Mm-hmm.
a little more. With Denver, was asking him to do that a little bit. Yeah.
I just don't see. And even asking Dalvin to do it, Dalvin can do it, yes.
Yes.
But you also can't overwork Dalvin. And I don't think you're getting the most out of his abilities by strictly doing that to him. And I don't see the answer on the roster for doing this.
No. And I think that, like, okay, so he played 600 snaps in 2019, but ideally you want to keep him. I think 425 is like what the amount they played him last year is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want him to play more than 425 snaps or so. And most of those should be at the 3. Yes, in a pinch, you can throw him in there, but I have a feeling you're going to get run on, right?
Yeah, and look, had they not been vocal about this, I wouldn't have these concerns like I do, but they were vocal about it.
Yeah.
About wanting to make that
They've been
shift on the
talking about
interior
it,
and give
yeah.
different looks.
Now, I don't know. How do I go back and look at... I can just do this, right? Elliott. Ah! Where is he?
Jordan, I see him down there. Hey, 2 more down. Keep going. Keep going. There you go.
Six. He was right.
Which also shows you how little they put someone down there.
Yeah, so they just didn't do it at all.
20 between the two of those guys.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, they didn't
They
do it
wanted
at
to
all.
make it more of a base look.
I'm interested now to see what, how many Tomlinson did, right? I mean, probably not very many. I mean, they probably didn't do it at all. It seems like, right?
I'm guessing his number's going to be slightly higher than 20.
51, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like a total of 70 snaps probably for the team as somebody lining up in the A gap. Or
Out of close to what, 700 or what was their defensive snaps last year? 890 something total.
You're right, brother. Yeah, I get. I listen. Was stopping a run an issue last year? Not really. I mean, listen. I think I get. So yes, you make a good point that they don't have enough people to do this job that they've talked about, right?
Yes.
They have to have an idea, though, and a plan for what they want to do. Like, they're not just talking about this without the personnel to do it, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Be interesting to see what the plan is, though, because
Yes.
just from a personnel standpoint, I don't see a clear answer on the roster. But we also heard Schwartz last year when he came in talk about wanting to rush 5 all the time.
Yeah.
And we hardly ever saw it.
Yeah.
It was constantly 4-man. So maybe this is going to be a 5-man alignment. Maybe you're going to see Za'Darius at a 4-eye kick Dalvin inside and then have Ogbo or Alex Wright on, you know what I mean? And maybe that's how you get there. Maybe that's how you clog the lanes.
It's a good point from Drew, too. He did come in late. I think that, well, we saw his career snaps there. He didn't do it consistently.
No, I still think you want him under 500.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying snaps at the nose. I mean, he played 100 in Denver twice.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything that I don't think you want him doing it.
And we're viewing that without even knowing what else they had on their roster. That might have just been out of necessity, not out of like perfect fit type scenario.
Quentin Jefferson is a pass rush demon.
Yes,
but
he is.
Cannot defend the run very well.
He's not that guy.
No, he's a 3, he's a 4-eye, he's wherever you really want to line him up.
Yeah.
But he's gonna.
You can even do some edge stuff with him.
Yeah, he can go get the quarterback, but he's not going to be a great run defender. Which their priority is always going to be go get the quarterback. And honestly,
and the onus is on the linebackers to erase mistakes.
That's what I was just going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. No, you're good. You're right. That's fine. JOK and Hicks are there to clean up the run game, right? So, and that now
I love Hicks in that role, by the way.
Me too. Does that get exposed at all last year? It did at times.
That's the reason you're talking about between the tackles. The reason I'm talking about shifting someone down is because when people did have success, it was inside stuff on us.
Does this feel like one of the change-ups to you?
It has to be. It has to be. And I didn't have many complaints in the run game.
No.
I didn't walk away from last season. And the national media did. They had a different perception of it. That's the reason, no matter what, because I know you were high on Hall and you were like, Hall or nobody if we're drafting a tackle. But every other national outlet was having us take a defensive tackle no matter what. Whether it was Mason Smith or, you know what I mean? We've seen a few different names that weren't Michael Hall because they just thought that was like some glaring need. And I didn't see it that way. To me, it was a luxury taking Hall there.
Yeah, see, I think they were – I don't know if that was based on the run defense or if that was based more on like, hey, they got a bunch of veterans on one-year deals that are close to 30 years old. For me, that's just where the best defensive tackles in the NFL are. That's like where that's where you get like guys on their second contract that have figured out how to play the position. Their bodies have changed a little bit.
And it's the position that takes a while to figure out.
Yeah,
there are studs that can come in and be contributors day one, but that is not the norm. It
is not the norm. No.
So no, and now you don't have that. Now you sign Shelby for a 2-year. You sign Za'Darius for 2 years. So now some of these veterans aren't playing on that 1-year deal like we've been doing in years past.
Yeah. And I mean, if they really had to stop the run, I mean, you have Myles Garrett and Za'Darius Smith. And I mean, you can get big enough if you need to.
You can get creative with you have some interchangeable parts of guys that are versatile and can move up and down the line. You can put some crazy lineups out there.
You can. But to your point, though, the question about what they're talking about doing, they don't really have the guys to do right now. Or if they do, if they want it to be Ika or Briggs, there's not enough really room for that right now.
It doesn't feel like it, right? It does not feel like it. I would just like the leap that Ika would have to make to justify a spot. It'd be gargantuan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good luck to the kid.
I mean, I'm with you. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So, Aiyuk trade on paper. The Commanders are saying they turned down an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
I saw that Aiyuk commented on it. Said funny because the Niners told me they weren't shopping.
They're not going to trade me.
That's where I saw it from.
The hate that has come out of this from Aiyuk towards the 49ers is kind of comical. I mean, he's mad as hell.
Yeah, and it feels like it's been brewing ever since his brother started posting as soon as the Super Bowl was over.
Yeah.
Felt like it was trending that way. I don't know.
I keep getting this. I got in a huge argument last night. Well, not sort of. I was in the chat, so I was very infuriated because I couldn't talk. I was in, which is always frustrating. So sorry, chat, if I infuriate you from time to time and you can't express your feelings fast enough. Someday we'll have a call-in line and you can yell at me all you want. But I popped into Garage Beers after the React. And the first thing I hear from Mike is, I don't know, everybody's talking about Brandon Aiyuk. He's overrated. He's nothing compared to Amari Cooper. He's a system wide receiver. Have you heard this from people? He's a system wide receiver. Bro, he's like their fourth option there. He would get more of a chance to succeed in the Browns offense than he would theirs.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, with that, they throw the ball the least.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Purdy's pretty risk adverse as well.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's not physical. He's not physical enough. If you watched him play,
that's just telling on yourself.
If you watched him play,
if that's how you think this is going down,
he is more physical than Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that's going to get me in trouble saying that out loud, but he's a more complete wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love Amari, man. I'm
fine if they re-sign Amari. I'm fine if they re-sign him. But
yeah,
Aiyuk is 26 years old.
26 years old, just coming into his prime, and I don't see what the ceiling is yet.
No.
And I don't know. I don't know, man. He was my white whale. I was banging the table way early in this process.
We both have been, and Pete too. And I just feel like I'm screaming into the ether here. There's nothing. I hear people on the radio this morning. He's not a real number one. My ass. He's not a real number one.
Yeah.
He is a one.
Yeah.
He is a one.
But here's the problem with my pipe dream. My pipe dream was to have both of them for 1 year. For Amari's last year of the contract, to get Aiyuk here, have them both at the same time, so that when you lose Amari, it's like a vacuum situation, and he assumes his position at the one. I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it is. Well, it might be, but here's the thing: if it is, you're going to have to give up more draft capital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that was the other part of my honestly, because when this manifested, my dream was give up your second round pick, get Aiyuk, probably give up a late rounder, but then 49ers like, no, we want at least a one, and then probably players.
They're not going to.
That takes us out of it, right?
I don't think they're going to get a one.
Well, that's the thing is they would, if they were going to, it would have already happened. Unless a competing team, not in the NFC, has a catastrophic injury, they're going all of a sudden that's going to become the deal. Unless that happens, if it's just status quo as is, they're not going to get a 1. So they have to make a decision. And he could very well end up playing for San Francisco, and they could just try to, to win it all and then figure it out later. And I just don't think they're willing to franchise tag him. They just have other mouths. But that's the other thing too. Kittle's deal's almost up.
I think if they could,
they might transition.
If they had their choice, they would definitely, I bet they regret the Debo deal. So
he was the flavor of the month at the time, though. You see why they did that.
Oh, for sure. But right now, if they could switch Debo and Aiyuk's place, they would do it. They would rather have Aiyuk on a long-term contract and not be paying Debo, I think, if they had their choice.
He's a more complete receiver. Debo's more gimmicky, hard worker, shorter shelf life based on the way he plays, though. The Debo style of play.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
The other thing to think about, though, so think about this. He went after Judy in that same draft.
Yep. So
Judy is here now. How would he feel if they break the market to go get a guy who was selected after him? Ego-wise, that would have to suck, right?
For Judy?
Yeah. We can't worry about that. But
they paid him. We didn't ask him to play a snap, and they gave him an extension.
No,
he has nothing to cry about.
But if you see, he knows he's not getting top tier money. He knows that his play hasn't earned top tier money. But from an ego standpoint, to watch a guy who was selected after you get, for the team who went and got you to break the bank to bring in, ego-wise, that'd be a kick in the dick.
Sure.
But you can't worry about
that. Deal with it, bro. They gave you. The Browns did not have to give him a contract at all.
No, not at all. Sight unseen too, because you haven't proved that you're worth that yet.
They gave you a straight belief deal, they did for.
But it's aged well already.
Already makes sense. Aged well.
Yeah. That first week it was rough. People were like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" And then all of a sudden you see these deals coming in. You're like, "Oh man."
Andrew Berry plays plays chess, not checkers. 3D chess, 4D chess. He's ahead. He's ahead of everybody most of the time.
Well, you asked a question at the beginning of this. We haven't gotten into it. So what do you think the tipping point is when people start getting mad at Coop?
There it is. That's the question I was getting to.
I mean, that is the elephant in the room now.
Well, first, I want to say this before we get into that, because I want to talk a little bit more about my boy. So whatever they asked or offered to, if it's true, to Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had to have been asking for 1 or something, right? To turn it down.
Or picking a player.
Jaden Daniels is his best friend, right?
Say that again?
Jaden Daniels is his best friend.
I mean, they were both at Arizona State together. I don't know how deep the bond is, but
no, it's deep. They're on, they're calling each other on social media, talking shit about the Niners, all kinds of stuff, right? That's the link. They're playing it super immature, right? And he had somebody video. I think I told you this. He had somebody taping him while he was talking to Daniels on the phone. And he was like, "They don't want me back, man. They don't want me back."
Okay, well, that's the question I'm going to pose to you. Yes, he's talented, but do you want that?
I don't think he is that in any other situation besides this.
But it's a situation that matters.
I guess. You just saw Cooper on social media this week saying, "I'm trying to get paid, man."
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, and when I was actually thinking about this earlier in the week. Okay, so Coop's on the last year of the deal. Say if he's forced and no one gives him the deal and he's just going to play on this and gamble on himself. Even if he has a crazy successful season, he's 31 this time next year and his bargaining power is way lower. Even if he does turn in another 72 for $12.50, you know what I mean? Which is a phenomenal season. It's so he's just trying to do it while he can.
I get it. 100%. He should be doing it. His agent should not let him stay. People aren't gonna like this, so we can get into this topic now. But anyways, at what point there's two tipping points I want to talk about. The first one is,
Yeah.
at what point, if you're the 49ers, do you come off of a 1 and start to like look at, okay, do we just suck it up, make a Super Bowl run with this guy for 1 year, or are we going to come off of a 1 and take a 3 or whatever? Because on paper, if they're willing to come off a 1, the Browns are the perfect fit with Cooper and a third. On paper, they're ideal trade partners.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So when does that come? That has to come.
I don't know if it does. I don't think that it does.
You don't think it ever comes for Lynch?
No.
You think
No.
he just says, "I'm going to let him play on this deal, and we'll deal with this next
And
year"?
because the end of the what's the goal is to win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So stay loaded up. They know that Purdy's not an elevator of players. He needs that kind of cast around him. And if you do Coop, you're inheriting the same problem as far as having to restructure a guy if you want to keep him. So it'd be just a 1 year rental thing. Which if you have to choose which player to have for 1 year, is that third really the you know what I mean?
Okay, so the difference for them is, see, here's the thing. I think Amari Cooper could go to I think Amari Cooper could go anywhere and be successful.
Yeah, he's proven that.
I think he could go to San Francisco. They could pay him on a much lesser deal.
Which was why I thought it was funny when Pete said, "Did you credit Chad O'Shea for Amari Cooper being good?" Which I don't think that's applicable. I think he's good no matter where he goes. He can play on the moon. All those tools are in his pocket. He's phenomenal. And he's as consistent as you're going to find a player.
That's your guys' beef there. I'll let you guys handle that.
No, it's not a beef. It's just because then he said DPJ, which I 100% agree. Like that is a testament, something you could point to. I don't think you could point to Amari Cooper and say give a coach credit for what Amari's Amari. Every place he's been that dude. Those tools are already in his belt. And yes, he'd be phenomenal in San Francisco for a year if that's the path that was
or
taken.
2, right? Or 3, maybe.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying if it's the same deal, and he's
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like, if they would pay him 25 for 2 or 3, and the Browns don't want to extend him the 2 or the 3, like which seems to be like it's not about the money, it's about the years for the Browns.
Guaranteed 3 years, yeah.
Right. But the Browns will give Aiyuk 30 over 5, right? 3 whatever and some guaranteed, and make him. You can make it look like more than that. You can make it look like 36. You know what I mean? If you want to, they can make it work. It's just a question of what you don't think San Francisco ever gets there, though. You think they'd rather just have their boy back. The question is, because of his antics, has he done enough damage to cause any issues going back in the locker room? Probably not.
Not yet. Could that get there? Yeah. Could they get to a bridge they can't cross? If this escalates, I just don't know that it will. I don't.
All right.
He's a premier talent, man. And that's also a thing. This should be a case study for other teams and us in general to realize, man, like some guys aren't ready right out the box. Aiyuk didn't come into the league this dude. It took him a few years to develop to this, but I believe now he's in that upper tier. Now he's not getting mentioned with the Jeffersons and Jamar Chase, but I don't think he's far off, man.
He's more complete than some of the people named up there. Like a complete wide receiver, he's more than some. So
and if he was in a pass-happy offense, I think that he's putting up those same type of numbers those dudes put up. He's just not. So that's the reason he was also my white whales. I thought he was undervalued. Yeah. Apparently I'm wrong, and 49ers valued him appropriately. I thought you could get him. I thought he was a gettable dude who had an incredibly high ceiling that you could make a move for and have him during his prime. That was my whole angle on him.
That's still my whole angle on him.
Except now they value him more than I thought they did.
Yeah.
That changed everything.
I guess.
I thought they were going to be able to fleece him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to... So you don't think that tipping point comes... I think it could come in like August. Maybe. If he makes enough noise. He needs to keep being disgruntled for this to happen. He needs to
And
be
that appears to be on target. Then I
Yeah.
mean,
But I mean,
there's
he
plenty
needs to keep it
disgruntled.
up.
You
He
need to
needs
keep ramping it up. You need him to be
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
But then it's like, so you're inheriting a guy who proves he can be a problem, and trading away Amari Cooper, who's like the model guy. I know he's holding out, but he's not a problem.
He's a future one.
Yeah.
For like, if
The
he's
next
under
4 or 5 years.
contract for 30 plus
Yeah.
million, I don't think he's disgruntled. If
Yeah,
you
but
line
what
him up with
happens when
Jerry Judy
the market
and
becomes 42 in 2 years?
if he earns it, we'll pay him. We've proven that. But if he doesn't earn it, then go be a problem. That's fine. At that point, we'll move on.
Okay.
I don't know.
Look, dude,
Maybe
I'm sold.
talking out.
Look, when you guys were talking, like at first I was like, I'm sold. Call him up, Coop, in a third, and see what we can do. But then
Yeah.
it got going. It's like, okay, so do we have any other assets they would be interested in?
Greg?
I said that in the chat. I was like, dude, I don't. You need cornerback help? Like,
You can have him right now.
I'll give you Greg a third and a fifth today. Like,
I'll drive him to the airport.
I will. Same.
He can dance. He can dance onto the airplane. His goofy little dances or whatever he does. He can wear his wild card glasses onto the airplane.
He can buckle himself into the plane seat.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Anyways, that was in poor taste. I apologize.
Look, man, we're excited. There's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We're scheming up ways to steal Brandon Aiyuk.
So, but I love Coop, just like you. We love Coop, right? I'm just trying to think for the future more. I don't want them to, like, it's kind of scary to think about them having to acquire a one another way.
Yeah, Coops don't grow on trees. You can't get a lot of wide receiver ones for 5th round picks. That doesn't really happen that often.
I don't
And
think
you got
Judy,
it. You got it once. I don't know if you get that lucky again. Maybe you do.
I don't view Judy as a future one. So
He could change my mind. He's going to have to do a lot to change my mind.
yeah.
Does he have the physical characteristics to be A1? Yes. But there's been a ton of inconsistent play, and you can blame a lot of that on the quarterback. But at the end of the day, I see guys like Amari Cooper elevate their game regardless of who's throwing that football.
Would you do Coop, Newsome, a 2nd and a 5th?
Come on, man. I don't want to, but yes.
Listen, people are going to call me crazy, but I would do it.
I don't want to. That's
I would want like a 3rd back.
Barry will get a 6 back. He always gets a 6 back. It's like
I don't want a 6 back. That does nothing.
Barry's
for
going to
me.
get one. I don't care what you want. If Barry's making a trade, somehow there's a 6th round that comes back to us. It just happens. I don't know. It's like that last line in the contract. He sneaks it in an invisible ink, and then it dries, and all of a sudden you get a magical 6.
Is it better than a 1st though, Red Leader? Is it better than a 1st for them? 2 players that are 2 elite players.
2 players that are starters.
2 starters.
Newsome
a
starts
2nd
on the
and a
49ers.
5th.
That seems like a lot, man.
That's a lot.
Seems like a lot.
Well, listen, because if you separate it out, Newsome to me on the market, fresh off a good season, is worth like a 2nd.
He's a starting level outside corner,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
We're playing him inside, but he's a starting level outside corner in the NFL.
His value gets dinged because and why we can't put proper contract value on him is because we don't play him in the role that other teams would.
We're too close to it, man.
Yes.
Like, look around the league. He's still valued. Like I
Yes.
said, there was a redraft the other day, and he was still going in the 1st round. Like, we picked him at 26. In the redraft, he went 28. So he's still viewed as that kind of talent.
It's interesting. That's an interesting proposition, right, Leader?
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Would I if you gunned ahead? Yes, but it feels like a lot.
Ugh,
Feels like a lot.
that gets a little scary. We are cornerback spoiled. You're right.
Yeah. But that's also like the spoils of war of being great at drafting that particular position.
What makes you the most upset about if you could take one thing out of this trade, what would it be? For me, it's the 2nd.
Yeah, me. As I was about to say, the 2nd round pick. The second round pick.
I'll give you Coop and Newsom in a fifth all day long.
Yeah.
The second is what
I still don't like. I don't like having to give up 2 starting college players to get 1 starter back. But are those 2? But here's to your point: are Coop and Newsom in the long term plans?
No.
Because if they're not, that's great. Because Aiyuk would be in your long term plans, and you may made yourself a little weaker for this season on defense. But I think you can plug the hole of nickel pretty easily with what you have in house, not having to get crazy. And then Ayuk's obviously a starter on your one on the outside. Yeah, do it, man. I'm in.
Listen,
AB, make the call.
For this year, does it make you that much better? No, I don't think. But I don't think it hurts you that badly either. But long term, I think it makes you
2025, 2026.
a lot better, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're running Aiyuk and Judy and a rising Cedric Tillman out there.
Yep.
I mean,
or Jamari Thrash, or one of.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys on the market. I saw Heavy had a weird.
I don't think Gilmore's going to do much for you inside.
Dory Jackson.
I did. I saw that too.
Did you see that from Heavy.com?
I did. I didn't know who wrote it. I did. It popped across and
saying that we need cornerback help because of injury concerns.
Well, that's just where it's set up to be beautiful. Because if you have injury concerns, who's the injury concern? It's Denzel. Greg can slide out and play outside, and then you bring Mitchell in to play the nickel, and I don't think you really miss much.
You know what I always forget about in these conversations? That Ward is like 1 concussion away from being done.
Yeah, we talked about that last night. He's that's the thing too, is Ward's going to miss games this year because he does every year. So between 2 and 4 games, he's just not going to be there. You just got to hope it's not a head injury and it's a lower leg or a calf strain.
If there's anybody that should be wearing that Guardian helmet, it's him.
Amen. Amen. I don't want that kid attempting a tackle before we get to September.
All right. Let's get to the hot topic of the other tipping point, right? We have 2 more things to cover. All right. When do the fans turn on Coop? So social media, I don't know what he was doing. Where was that? Was that in Cleveland?
No, I don't know where it was either. That was a question I had. I had to talk about it with Dave.
Yeah, and then it was with a betting site.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like joking with him, like, "You're a route runner. You're not a speed guy. I think I could beat you in a race," or whatever he said to him.
Yeah.
And Cooper's like, "I ain't racing you. I'll pull a hammy. I'm trying to get paid, son," or whatever he said, right?
Yeah.
Total Cooper stuff. Like it was funny, but there's no doubt he knew what he was saying in front of a camera.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
It was not by chance that he said those words. Right?
Yeah. He is trying to get paid.
It was a pointed maneuver.
He would be at practice if this wasn't the case. So, yeah.
So, if they don't come to a deal, do you think he's at training camp?
I did originally, but I also didn't see him sitting out the mini camp. The fact, and to your guys' credit, I wasn't aware there was $0 guaranteed. That's a frightening prospect for a 30-year-old player, man, who's earned, And here's the telling thing is he considers 20.8 not getting paid, because that's what you would get paid if you suit up and go play. You're going to get paid that money.
The problem is if he got hurt, he doesn't get anything.
Yeah, no. He wants security. He wants to be paid market value, and he wants security. But that's the answer to the question. When's the tipping point of the fans' turn? The fans' turn if they get back from the Greenbrier, and this dude's not a practice.
I don't think so. I think Red Leader's right. Maybe some. I would not be mad at him until it's like the 2 weeks, the week break before week 1. Because I think at home, away from the building, he's in the playbook. He knows what's going on.
Well, that's the other part of this, man. He's a true professional.
He
Guys,
knows.
he's working on his craft. It isn't like he's just sitting around. I'm not moving a muscle till the phone rings. But he's not going to. He's not going to participate.
I looked it up. It is. They do have to find them.
Yeah, you told me. I thought that wasn't until they went to training camp. I didn't think the mini camp was a mandatory fine, even though it's in the name, mandatory mini camp.
Yeah.
So that should have been my first clue.
But it's more at. I think it's more at training camp. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think you can find a way to work it back in somehow if you come to a deal. But what if you don't?
He's not worried about the short term though. He's worried about long term. So he's not,
Right.
even if he has to give up 200,000 to make 46 million over the next 2 years, I think that's something he's going to do.
Great point. I want to see him light up Dallas.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Yeah, you'd hope, but that can't be his only motivation. His motivation is he wants paid, man. He wants paid for 2 or 3 seasons. I don't know what the tipping point is. I know that you don't want to be extended and owe a guy $29 million when he's 32 years old, no matter what. And then say that cliff comes and then all of a sudden you're left holding the bag. You're the Bill Belichick principle. You'd rather get out too early than too late.
It's a weird place for Andrew Berry.
It is. It is.
Because, I'm good. I would give him this year guaranteed and give him a raise, and I would give him next year fully guaranteed. I can live with that. I think you can handle that, but I'm not giving him a dime after that.
Yeah, you probably just make it incentive based on that third year. But I don't think if that's not good enough for him, then he's got.
I think
at what point does he not stick to his principles?
If you gave him 50, if you gave him 5 more this year, call it you could even give him all right, I'm going to give you, let's throw away this year. Let's tear it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you $30 million signing bonus. You can spread it out over void years. Make it a 4-year deal, and you get 25 guaranteed next year with a whatever bonus. But year 3 is not guaranteed, and you can make it like a 30 base or a 28 base, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Year 4 is not guaranteed. Make it like a 28 base. It looks like a $30 million APY deal, but you're going to give him $55 million over 2 years.
Yeah, you're getting 0 complaints out of me. Are you kidding me? Get on the phone, Brad. What do you get Mullighetto on the line?
I feel like that would get it done, though. I don't.
Me too.
You think they're asking for money into year 3? I doubt it. If you told him that you could give him $55 million guaranteed right now, final payday, include that, locks you up all this year guaranteed, and we're basically giving you giving you a $7 million raise, and we're going to give you fully guaranteed until you're 32 years old in the NFL.
Yeah,
I don't see them turning that down.
Get 0 resistance out of me. I would sign that deal tomorrow.
And
from both sides.
Both sides would take it.
I think that is a deal that both sides would come to an agreement. Then what's the holdup? What are they not willing? I don't know, man. God, I would love to be a fly on the wall.
Our insider says it's
point, man.
Our insider, Stainbrook, reported that they didn't want to give him money outside of 1 year this year.
Outside of this year,
they didn't want to give him.
That's hard for me to believe that. I mean, if he's saying it, I just don't.
They got, but I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? So maybe that's their starting point. But,
because right now it doesn't matter. Right now you're not practicing anyway, so you can play hardball right now.
He's not tag eligible. He's not franchise tag eligible.
I don't believe so. No.
No. Yeah.
No, and the way that position's exploding, you don't want to play the franchise tag anyway.
No, Kevin, I don't think he's tag eligible. I think the franchise tag is only at the end of your first contract or second, but I think you have to be with your original team, right? I don't know.
I don't know the language on that. I am trying to think of other players that have been franchised later into their career. I mean, the last time we did it, I remember was Dawson, but it was later in his career. But I don't. That was That was 2000. That was 2012. You know what I mean? I doubt those same rules are still in place.
I don't believe that there. I'm almost positive. I'm almost 100% positive there is no franchise tag to be had with Cooper.
I don't want to do that anyway.
No, but I don't think that's an option.
You know, I don't think that's the route. I think the route's what you're saying right now. The number 28 keeps popping in my head.
I mean, would 50 do it? 50 might do it. 50 over 2, put some fluff on it, make it look like 28 a year.
Yeah, you think that'd get it done? But like, I have no problem with them playing hardball right now. But when we get into late August, like they got to come up with something, man. You got to figure it out, because our other pipe dreams of getting Aiyuk are far fetched. Like you need a number 1 on this team for this year and next year, and you have to keep developing these players underneath, and then you can come up with a plan B. But I don't see it in the short term. And I think Cooper's game translates for the next couple of years just because of the way I'm not relying on this cat to be 4-3.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not his game.
Yeah, he's a technician. Yeah, I mean, for me, I won't be mad at it unless he misses a game.
Yeah.
I think
because I trust him to be a professional when he does sign to come in and be ready and be that dude.
And if I were, put yourself in his shoes, if you were him or if you were his agent, are you doing your job if you show up with no guaranteed money?
No guarantee. Yeah, no, that's the tough part. And you pointed out from the jump.
1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns or whatever he had last year. And you're the clear number 1.
17.4 catch, brother.
You have you have leverage, but it's not unlimited, right? If you ask for too much, then you're suddenly, so here's the other side of this, right? If you ask for too much and they call your bluff and you have to play out this deal, now you're in a total prove it year at age 31.
Mm-hmm. And your market's already going to be decreased because that number keeps going up. The sooner you get this done, the better. So
but it behooves
at some point it
sides.
behooves both sides to get something worked out, man.
Which makes me think that
or trade them.
Yeah, which makes me think that it'll get done because both sides benefit big time by coming to a middle ground. So
yeah, you're probably right, man. The general, because you also have to take consideration, like Browns fan PTSD is a real thing, and we've had veteran receiver after veteran receiver come in here like Dwayne Bowe or Kenny Britt and do nothing. You know, so he's the guy who's came in here, and even when we traded for him, I don't know how you thought about it, but when we first traded for Cooper, I had doubts whether he was a true one or not.
Yeah,
because it looked like, well, Dallas clearly chose CeeDee Lamb over him. So is he on the decline? What did they know that we didn't know? He's been nothing but a consummate professional and been a true number 1 here. So he's earned that good faith from the fan base, in my opinion.
Yeah. Red Leader says, and this is interesting because I think a lot of fans feel this way. But he agreed to this. He signed this deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how the NFL works in my eyes.
The price of the brick went up. And now there's a receiver making 35.
Yeah, there's a guy making $35 million now. Like Myles Garrett, his deal that he's playing on now, it's not paying him sufficiently.
No, but that's also part of the guardrails. Pay these dudes early.
Like
identify and pay early. Stay in front of it.
Season, he's going to probably get a new deal.
Yeah. Which is this time around that'll work. The next time around when his contract's up, maybe his age, and then we're at that point with him.
Becomes a factor.
Correct.
So, like, yes, he's at the time he signed it, but he also knew, and players know when they sign those deals, that any of those years on the end that are non-guaranteed are gone in a second from either side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like.
That's why Nick Chubb was grateful that they did him a favor, basically, because they could have easily just walked away. Like, we didn't owe you any money. You got hurt. cookie crumbled that way.
Yeah.
So he acknowledged that
He did.
they did right by him.
They didn't do Baker right, I guess, but I wouldn't really care. But they do. I mean, like I think the other thing they have to be aware of is their reputation to other players
And other agents. They keep those relationships fluid, man. They want to be on the up and up with agents so that these negotiations go smoother. And you think they would have enough good faith with Mulugeta based on the amount of money they gave Watson?
I mean, Mulugeta is going to get his guy what he wants to get him.
Yes.
Period.
Well, like unless it's unreasonable, and then you price yourself out, like you said.
But But he has to be smart enough to know that. And Cooper,
for sure. For sure.
Cooper's a more intelligent enough guy to know that.
Look, if I had to bet, I don't think we're having these conversations halfway through training camp in Berea. I think they get it figured out.
You want to put a wager on what date this deal's done by?
Yeah, man.
All right, what do you think?
Let's go.
I'll give you closest to the right date wins. I'll buy. You pick a fan, anybody you want. I have to buy them their favorite T-shirt. Somebody in our chat.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, I pick somebody and you have to buy them a T-shirt, OBR T-shirt.
All right.
Deal?
You're right. You want me to give you the date?
Think about it first.
I already did.
You're rushing it.
No.
All right, I gotta keep track of these. Hold on.
Yeah, you're already going to pay for the Brendan Rice thing, man.
I tried to get him on tonight to talk about Brendan Rice. Remind me again what the parameters of that deal are.
Of that one?
Brendan Rice
won't catch a pass year 2.
Not one pass in
Not
2025.
One. Yep.
All right. What was the?
Which is basically you saying he's not making a roster by year 2.
But he'll be on the practice squad or something.
Yeah, but as long as he don't catch a pass, he will not. Then you're safe.
He won't.
It's bold move, Cotton.
What was the wager? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember the wager. I just remember I remember the bet. I don't remember
I don't
what
care
you got.
what the wager is because I'm going to win that one by a mile. So
okay. All right.
You disagree with me. You think
Dude,
Brendan Rice is going to be a star?
There's a gray area. You're acting like he's the worst receiver ever. I'm not saying he's even good. I'm saying they don't have receivers, and he's a big dude who can run fast in a straight line. He might get away with an offensive pass interference and catch a football. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibilities. And he's got a great quarterback. The ball might stick to him by accident.
He has to be on the field.
I know. They don't have receivers. And hold on. He's a tough player who blocks. And he's in Harbaugh's offense. He might get run because of that.
He looks like a stick. Like he runs. He looks like he has a stick up his ass. He runs like he has a stick up his ass.
He runs a 4.4 with a stick in his ass, though.
Okay. He's not. He can't.
Just because you don't
separate.
Like I'm just saying.
The only way he could.
Good. You're trying to put me in the
his Senior Bowl stuff. The only way he could separate was by grabbing the defensive back, throwing them to the ground.
You don't think Harbaugh loves that shit? That's why they drafted him. Harbaugh loves that shit.
Dude,
try to get inside the mind of a madman all you want. I'm just saying Harbaugh might find a role for this dude.
Maybe on special teams, but he ain't going to catch a pass.
Maybe, yeah. Hey, look, dude. Look, I'm not saying he's good.
I stand by my bet.
I can tell. I can tell, Brad.
I watched him at the Senior Bowl. He can't separate a step.
Yeah, he'll shove you down to the ground. That's his move.
Without grabbing someone.
Yep.
Shaking them, headlock, elbow, and then he caught the ball.
You don't think you just made Harbaugh just went from 6 to noon watching that?
Yeah, okay. After he's peppered with 15 flags, catching the ball and then getting called for OPI does not count.
Okay,
that's not a. Does that catch go in the statistics book? No. Okay, I win.
No, you'll be safe.
I am.
You'll be safe.
You think he's gonna go for like 600 yards?
No, what are you making this about me? This ain't even my bet.
Because every
I'm not
time I
even in
say
this.
something about it, you start laughing and calling.
That's because like he's not
calling me bold.
He's not as bad. Like there's a gray area, man. There's a gray area. I'm in the gray area. He has some physical tools. I can see why some teams would be in on him. Obviously, the league feels similar to you because he didn't go to the 7th, but he went to the 7th to a madman. So I'm not going to try to get inside the mind of
a madman. A madman.
Dude, he is. Are you kidding me? Dude eats his own boogers. It's on record.
He's a lunatic. Did you see that they have the same odds as the Browns to win the AFC?
No, I did not.
Isn't that disappointing?
It's such a quarterback thing, though, dude. I had to go through this exercise the other day where the ESPN ranked the starting lineups of all 32 teams, and the Browns are 12th, even though the roster rankings are top 5. But because it's such a quarterback-weighted thing, so I think that's probably at Herbert being the quarterback elevates them in that respect. I don't know.
So I wrote the futures odds thing thinking that I would find an unbiased opinion from my friends in the desert, right?
Mm-hmm.
That make the sports books because
they make money off marks.
Their business relies on being accurate.
Yeah.
However, their lines are very much in line with the national narrative.
Because the public beatings never go out of style, man. And right now it is part of it just to drop elbows on Deshaun Watson.
We're getting yelled at for not.
I picked the bet. I already picked the date.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out what.
I got a date. Military Appreciation Day, open practice. It's the 20th of August.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That long?
What? August 20th? I think they get it. Yeah, I don't think it goes into the season. I don't think it goes into the week before the season. The 21st is the last public practice. I think the 20th, it's Military Appreciation Day.
So
for the troops, I think for the troops, they get this done.
Strategically, you should have waited.
To the last one?
You should have waited for a minute. And you should have made me flip a coin before. Because now I can just say August 19th, and I get every date from then till now, and I win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want Price is Right, man? I don't give a shit. Go for it. Go for it.
No, we should have wrote. That's not fair because we should have wrote it down first, so so that I couldn't do that.
I'll die on my hill, and I'll gladly buy one of the awesome dudes in this chat a shirt.
$1. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say. When does camp start?
They report July 25th to Greenbrier, and then they come back to Berea the 2nd of August, and then the public practices are the 4th, 6th, 8th, 12th, 20th, and 21st.
I'm going to say that he gets it done and shows up to the Greenbrier on the 28th.
Okay.
July 28th.
So whoever's closest. I hope you're right. I don't want to keep talking about this shit. I will gladly buy a t-shirt to quit talking about Amari Watch.
Okay. I'll tell Philly.
That's the guy to talk to.
He'll get him ready. Red Leader was thinking the 17th. Okay. All right, so that leads us to our final topic. So appreciate you all. One of you is going to get a T-shirt out of this. So congratulations.
Congratulations on your free shirt.
Yeah, congratulations on all your success. What do you think about the Browns going? Okay, so how much stock do you put in the Greenbrier for last year?
For last year, a decent amount, man. It felt like a reset. They just wanted to do something different. But now we're into the territory that it kind of worked. And athletes are creatures of habit and superstition. And it should be pointed out, man, Deshaun Watson went to the Greenbrier with the Texans. How much of this is on him? How much of this was like he came to them with the idea?
Do you think?
I mean, look at the teams that do it. The Saints used to do it every year. The Saints were a team that started most of their seasons in the mid 2010s at the Greenbrier. Houston, there we go. There's the shirt. There it is. Thought about putting it on the screen behind me. I don't know. I just think how much faith do I put in it? That's ridiculous looking. It's ridiculous looking.
All right.
But look, man, here's the thing: is we better get one of Denzel on that.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah.
He's the one that needs it.
So, like, going back this year.
Yeah, athletes are superstitious. They're creatures of habit.
Right.
It must have been enough of a hit with the players that they knew that this wasn't going to cause a lot of doom and gloom.
I think it's a great thing. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think they get away. Cell service sucks down there. They're forced to interact with each other. I think it makes a difference when
they all talked about it very positively when they came back.
Yeah.
You heard nothing but rave reviews. Complete side note. So I told my mom they were going to be down there, and she looked into rooms down there, and they're not renting rooms out during the week, but they're selling weekend passes for the grounds that you can go to, and it's like $900.
Holy
yeah.
So,
yeah, I've been to the Greenbrier.
You can actually go.
I went to a wedding there when I was a small child.
You can actually go and watch them at the
No,
Greenbrier?
practices are closed, but the grounds will be open to the public. It's a huge complex, man. It's
so
massive.
you can go interact with them.
If they're not in their rooms, yeah. I mean, you can't go stalking them. They're not renting rooms out while they're there, but you can get day passes. It's like, I don't know. You ever heard of the Biltmore Estate? It's similar as to the way it's viewed. Like.
Oh yeah, I looked at it. We looked at it on here. Hold on. We could take a virtual tour, I believe.
Yeah, I went to a wedding there in the early '80s. I was a very small child.
Get the hell out of here!
I remember a ton of flowers. One of the reasons I remember it, though, is my cousin on the way to the wedding got their hand shut in a van door, and she cried so much that it might have unlocked some trauma thing. Because I'm like 3 or 4, and I remember this. I remember the Greenbrier.
All right. I don't know who these people are, but
yeah, my mom had grand schemes when I first told her they were going. She was going to try to rent a room and everything.
All right, so I don't know who this ginger is, but we're gonna look at him anyways.
All right, what are we doing? What are you about to show me?
I'm glad Jack's asleep right now over in England because he would not be happy with me. I'm trying to get it. Be patient, people.
Okay.
Not you. You're good. All right. Here we go. All right.
The image that popped up for the Greenbrier. Nice.
I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm goofy. I've been awake too long today. All right, let's. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, this is the Greenbrier. I don't know who that is, but he was there.
Apparently, yeah.
He's starring in this virtual.
That's kind of the things I remember. I remember flower gardens and stuff. I was a really little kid.
Yeah, actually, this is like where last year Fred went, the legend.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a picture right in front of like I think it was probably like this thing. Because I remember the flowers. Look at that building. I try to keep that guy's dome out of the picture, but.
My grandfather was born in White Sulphur Springs, which is right by there.
Here is a picture.
Just picture shaming this poor couple.
This picture of Jack Duffin, 25 years in front of the Greenbrier.
Someone's going to screenshot this and send it to Jack.
That's okay. He'll laugh. He has a good.
It's almost morning for him.
All right. I don't know what this is. This was a terrible virtual tour. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. This is the virtual tour.
I don't know.
What
What
you clicked
was
on?
that?
I didn't know. I thought you were just shaming people.
What is this?
It was residential housing.
Hold on.
I don't know, man. You are tired. What are you doing?
Whoa. This isn't it either, is it?
Greenbrier Park.
It's nice. I don't think this is it. Maybe. What do you think?
I mean, they might have added grounds to the place. It definitely looks newer than what I remember seeing.
There's a nice door. Yeah, I don't think
dog,
it's
this
this
ain't it.
new.
This ain't it.
This ain't
It's
it.
super old, and it's decorated
It's
super
very
old, and it's
yeah.
meant to look like it's super old.
Yeah, like
That is like their
like
deal.
your grandma decorated it, right?
Yes, dude. Some of it's wild floral patterns and
red shag carpeting and stuff.
But see, like we have something close to Asheville called Biltmore, the Biltmore Estate, and there's like grounds outside of the Biltmore now that are like hotels and stuff. So there's probably like a Greenbrier Park.
Are we gonna get a copyright infringement for this?
I don't know. I think you'll get sued by a real
This is
estate agent.
definitely
They're in Shelbyville,
not
Tennessee
it.
right now.
This is somebody's house.
No, Shelbyville, Tennessee. That is not the Greenbrier. That is White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, right off 64. You can see it as you drive by.
Thanks, Paul.
Look, I'm not mad that they're going there. I think that the biggest attraction from them going there for the fans is the fact that there's only going to be 6 practices that are open to the public because they're spending time there. If they had not spent time there, they'd probably be closer to 10.
Tell you who's not getting the t-shirt when I win. Is that better, Paul? Yeah.
Hey, here's my guy.
There he is. Looking good these days. Clean.
Maybe we can get a picture of him at the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
And that'll be what we use.
Yep.
He had his hair twisted up. I'm telling you, man. He heard about the show.
Yeah, he did. I don't. Do you think?
Maybe it was just time. Maybe that was the end game of his hair the whole time, was to get long enough to do the twist.
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend you, Red Leader, because I called him a ginger, that guy. Speaking of gingers, look at that, bro. All right, I think
I'm jealous I can't grow that.
Yeah, I wish my hair looked like that. Actually, I wish it looked like what his hair looks like now.
Yeah, I can't pull that off.
Like the braids and stuff. He looked good. Looked very professional. This looks like he's got an artificial Guardian helmet on.
It does. It's a nice, thick, luscious rug, though. I can't be mad at that.
I would recommend maybe we can get Denzel Ward to get his hair done like that. And
that extra padding.
Domal production.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking.
Not only
2 Guardian helmets for Denzel,
but not only will he have the Guardian helmet, but he'll have his own.
You know what I'm saying? Well, why doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah. We're getting this requested by the chat like crazy, so
It'll never get old.
my little baby hands.
I have a dream that week 6 we play Philadelphia, and the week before Hurts gets hurt,
pulls a hammy,
and then all of a sudden this is what we get.
And he wears the Guardian helmet out because you're allowed to now. He refuses the new helmets. I
honestly don't think there's 1,500 players in the NFL. I don't think one of them will wear the Guardian helmet for a game. Do you think we see the Guardian helmet for a game in 2020.
Maybe alignment. But so here's the thing. It's my understanding, the way we read it, I think I went over it with you, right? When the rule came out?
I don't remember the rules, so that doesn't mean you didn't do it. It just means my memory is shite.
Yeah. So, well, I believe we covered it. And if I recall correctly, that's why I have these pictures. Hold on. I have a bunch of Guardian helmet pictures on here because we covered it. So, yeah, so the rule is you can wear these things if you want.
Yeah. But what do you think we see one in 2024 during a game?
Maybe, but here's the caveat.
I
don't think so either. Maybe an offensive lineman, or maybe like this guy. Like, what does he care? There's 6 new. My understanding, I could have this wrong. I believe there's 6 new helmets.
Approved, yeah.
Newly approved helmets, and if you choose to wear one of those 6 helmets, you don't have to wear a Guardian hat even in camp. So why would you not choose one of the 6 helmets unless they're super uncomfortable or something?
Yeah, I just got to believe in 2024 helmet technology's come a long way.
Yeah. But so like they came up with this thing to try to gear people towards taking those helmets. Now, I'm sure that some people are going to be like, remember, that was AB, wasn't it? Who refused to play without his old helmet.
Yeah.
That guy's a freaking.
Yeah, but that dude already had the CTE. He didn't.
Too late.
Already.
Too late. Yeah.
Montez Burfict changed that dude's life in one hit.
Yeah. Too late. CTESPN is what he does on Twitter now.
He does. That dude became a supervillain. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't mean either. Got to give credit to the Steelers on that one. They somehow covered up that this guy was the worst human being on the face of the earth for like 5 years. I don't think he
was until December 15th of 2015. Went over the middle and caught one from Burfict, and it was over. There was before that and after that.
I don't know.
And the dude he was gone.
I mean, I don't think you lose your memory. I don't think you become a supervillain from CTE. I think you,
dude, a knock to your head will make you strange for days, man. It'll change you.
Okay.
There are several instances of people that were had traumatic brain injuries and then just were different people afterwards.
Interesting.
Super impulsive. He's a super impulsive human being now.
Well, he's more than that.
I mean, he's a supervillain now. We've reached the stage.
He gone.
Man. And honestly, he wasn't that dude when he came out of Central Michigan.
It is sad. It is sad. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. Anyways, so the bet is somebody that we pick, not Paul Spencer, will get a T-shirt from the OBR picked by either you or I, whoever we want in the chat. So, depends on. Watch your words out there.
I hope you're right. I don't want this to go on as long as I said.
But you picked the, hold on.
20th of August.
The 20th of August.
Military Appreciation Day, open practice.
Yeah, it's a good call. You've got some strategy with well thought out.
Thank you.
I just think it behooves both sides.
Yeah, dude. I would much rather them get this figured out while they're at the Greenbrier. That'd be sweet.
I don't know. Does somebody else run? I think AB runs his own Twitter. Maybe not. Either way, it's egregious. Oh, Michael Smith, that's his birthday. Nice call.
We might have a winner for the shirt, though.
There you go. What? Write it down. Take a picture.
He's lying, dude. He wants that shirt.
Wow, Paul, you are surely not getting one. Keep it up, brother. I'm just kidding. I love you, Paul. I'm just kidding. I appreciate your sense of humor. Okay, so the 28th of July is my choice. That's like 2 days into the Greenbrier. I think they get there And everybody's like, whoa. They haven't come to Amari Cooper.
See, I think it's August 20th, and all of a sudden they're in the middle of practice and they hear the glass break, and instead of Stone Cold, it's Amari, and he runs out on the field, and everybody loses their shit.
And they're going to be like, well, I just think that people are going to, like, just write, like, a bunch of stories, like, Browns back at Greenbrier, still no Cooper. And that'll kind of will leverage, like, whatever, if they're, like, this far apart, that'll get them.
Be enough to smack it together.
And then, like, it takes a day for him to get there, travel there, and leak it to the press. And then he's there, like, 2 days later. That's my...
I like your narrative, dude, and I hope it's true, because I don't want to keep talking about it. I want this problem to be solved.
That's my premise.
I'm mad that it's made, because I am a pro Amari Cooper, but just this narrative, and with Aiyuk just being dangled out there, has made me feel like I'm not pro Amari Cooper when I really am. I love Amari Cooper. He's been a godsend, dude. It's props to you, man.
All right.
For the record, my birthday is February 18th. If we're just going to throw it out there.
It was weird.
What's your...
The birthday train going. Yeah, so that's it. Great bet. Good bet. Like both narratives. Winner gets a t-shirt. I'll pick somebody. Definitely won't be Paul. And I can.
So what if we dead tie and it's right in the middle of both of us? We're going to do live Rochambeau.
I think if is that possible?
I don't know, man. I didn't do the math. You think I did the legwork?
All right. So how many days are in August? 30 or 31? 31, I think.
30. Yeah, 31. Hold
11 days.
Hold on.
8.
30 this month, so 31 next month. So it should be 30.
So yeah, so it could. 7 days. It would be the what? Wait, there's 31 in July too, right? I don't. Or is there 30?
There's 30 this month, 31 next month.
Okay, in July there's 31, right? So that's 3, and then 23. So if it fell on the 12th, be a split.
Which is also an open practice.
Wait, no, that's not right.
I don't know. You're doing the math. I am not a math guy. I don't pretend to be a math guy.
And 7 is 10. That would be the 7th. Would be how far from yours? 13. 8th would be, it's about the 8th or the 9th, somewhere in there would be a split, right? So
I'm sorry I introduced this element. It's hurting my brain.
Yeah, it's me too. It's somewhere around there. Either way, if it's a tie, let's make this rule. We both have to get somebody a t-shirt.
Boom. Everyone wins except for us.
Everybody wins. You guys get 2 people get t-shirts. Deal is done.
We've got people saying they don't want the shirt. They want a Gardo helmet.
Depends on how expensive it is.
I feel like it'd be too expensive.
Way too expensive. How about I'll give you a recommendation on that one. Instead of doing that, just grow your hair out.
Yeah. Get poofy with it.
Yeah. Just get puffy. Call Puffy Head. He'll help you. Right here. There's your Guardian helmet. You're welcome.
He ain't got no CTE.
Nope. Denzel Ward. Look of the future. All right. This has gone on way too long. The nonsense has gone on way too long. I apologize for my laughing. I apologize.
Really off the rails. It was the Brendan Rice thing. I think that's what did it. We got to Brendan Rice and it just cascaded.
It's this time of year. It's the dead period. It's long days. I will say it's been a fun show. It was a good show. It was really good up until like about a half hour ago. Lost control. Brendan
Rice.
We had really good analysis, talked you through it all. About a half hour ago, I lost control. Good bet, though. That's good. And
I hope you win.
I hope you win, sir.
Thank you.
Actually, I don't. No,
I hope you
it's
win.
done
I
way
want
before
the
that. I
narrative
don't
to
know
be
why
over.
I said that. I was just trying to be a
Because you're a
gentleman.
polite guy. Because you're a good guy.
Yeah. I try.
But the reality is, sign Amari Cooper. Get it over with. Let's just do the thing. What are we waiting on?
People calling them Gardo helmets now.
That's fine.
Nobody else in the world will call them Gardo helmets, but people in Cleveland, because they call the Guardians Gardos.
Gardos, yeah.
You got the Guardian helmet, so only we are calling them Gardo. I guarantee it. Everybody else is going. They're wearing the Gardo helmets today? No.
Dude, no one else is even talking about this.
Oh, we got it covered by all.
That's what I'm
angles.
saying. Dude, and that is also a credit to the fan base that are into like even the smallest of nuances. You know, like no one else is spending time.
Thank you, Red Leader. That kind of a compliment will definitely win you a T-shirt.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people kissing up, huh?
These people. No, he wasn't. He was trying to be comical. I did not fall asleep this show. You shouldn't have. It was terrific analysis.
The whole time. A tight hour and 50. A tight hour and 50.
Sorry that we like to try to have a little fun, you know.
It's going to happen. It's going to keep happening.
Good Lord.
Between now and July 25th, ain't nothing happening. We're going to do this.
I apologize to the couple from West Virginia that got married at the Greenbrier. My intent
It was a lovely ceremony.
My intent was to not put your life on display. However, you were somehow in the middle of what was supposed to be a Greenbrier virtual tour. So, my apologies to that gentleman and lovely lady. I hope you're still married. All right. And with that, this has been All Eyes on Cleveland. We talked about training camp. Actually, we didn't even talk about that. That's where we were going with the Greenbrier. Only 6 sessions this year, Casey.
Yep.
From 8 to 6. Do you think fans are upset? Are you upset, fans? Tell me. Are you upset with only 6 open sessions in Cleveland this year? That's very few.
And only one on a weekend. The first one's on a Sunday. The rest are during the week, during the middle of the day, when a lot of people aren't going to be able to attend. So,
how many? I mean, there used to be like 12, 15.
Yeah, and had they not gone the Greenbrier, you're probably still getting close to that double-digit mark. You know what I mean? But I just think it's like only having one on a weekend on a Sunday. Like I think you're alienating a lot of people just doing that, having it during the week.
Yeah,
and always during the hottest part of the day. What gives there?
But that's the thing, though. If you're a true fan and you really think the Greenbrier is helping him, you don't care.
Yeah, I'm not going to any of the practices. I'm good.
I try to go. I went last year and it got canceled. They moved him inside 2 days in a row that I went because it rained.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people that happened too. I know people that have went. Like, look, man, if I lived closer, I would definitely make an attempt. Especially if my kids wanted to go or something. I think that's a cool opportunity. You know, you get to see the players close up because it's a different thing watching them on TV as opposed to being in a closer environment where you actually get to see it. And I'm a football nerd, so I love shit like that.
Yeah, I just want to go and sit in a corner with a little notepad away from everybody else and just watch.
Yeah, it's something that Jake used to talk about is like, yeah, it's cool being on the sidelines, but like being up top, you actually have a better advantage point. You actually get to get a better view if you're there for those kind of things. But some people just want to be there. Some people just want to cheer. Some people are just starved for football, Brad.
Yeah, well, that's kind of it. And I also just kind of want to observe. Like, I feel like, and that's why I went last year. Like, I didn't tell anybody I was going. I just went up there both 2 days in a row. I had tickets 2 days. You know, there's like I forget what they said. There's like a 24-hour, 48-hour thing where you can just get tickets for free, whatever.
Yeah, for people interested, season ticket holders can get them the 17th, and for everyone else, they go on sale the 18th.
There you go. 18th of this month or July?
No, this month's the 27th. Unless you get a time machine.
That shows you where I'm at. Yes, 31 in August and July. Yep.
I was about to have to do it on my knuckles. I remember the old school thing. I don't know. I just know there's not 30 and there's not 31 in this month. I know that.
I can't believe I just said that. of this month. No, Brad. It's the friggin' 27th, you moron. Yeah, so, I just want to go watch, just take it all in. You can learn a lot just by sitting and watching.
We'll go the 20th and you'll see Amari Cooper.
I hope so. All right. It's been a good episode of All Eyes on Cleveland. I appreciate everybody's participation. 615 of you. Stop on over to the YouTube. The YouTubes.
Do all the things.
Yeah, all the things.
Like, subscribe, notification bells. There's all kinds of stuff. Comment. Share, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell everyone you know.
In, man, on you picking his birthday. We appreciate the support, Michael.
Hope Michael wins. I got you, Michael.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Thursday evening. Thank you, Casey. Always fantastic. Follow Casey at Casey_Kinnamon on X or Twitter. Keep it locked on the OBR. I'll have my cornerback article out tomorrow morning.
Injured reserve.
Yep. Wall-to-wall coverage at the OBR all the way through. Hit like, hit subscribe. Tell a friend. Keep coming back. We appreciate you all. And have a wonderful evening. Go Browns for everybody over at the OBR and the OBR streaming network. For Casey Kinnamon, Carolina Case, my name is Brad Ward, and we are out.